Alright, what is going on, guys? I am back. What up, Mike? How's it going, my friend? What is up? What is up, guys? I'm finally back from vacation. What is up, Mike, Joe, Jamal, Valeria, Pablo? Probably butchered that name, but welcome, guys. Welcome back to Melon Be Smellin'. And today, Melon will be smelling some grade review. If you guys don't know who Melon and Finn are, those are probably some of the OG cats on TikTok, so there you go. So what up, guys? What is shaking? Just getting some last minute things set up here. Hopefully you guys have been good since I've been gone. Hopefully life is good. Had a lot of interesting experiences from my vacation. I cosplayed as some Team Rocket, picked up some good cards, traded a bunch of stuff for a PSA 10 Misty's Favor, which was sick. Got some new updates coming out. I got a bunch of stuff. Definitely a vacation that was very productive and well worth it. But I'm glad to be back. Hopefully you guys are ready for some grade review. So just doing some last minute things here before I begin. Koval, welcome back. What up, what up? Just checking a few more things and then we should be good to go. Excellent. All right, so welcome in, guys. Welcome, welcome. Max, Ricky, Maria. So this is Grade Review, episode 74. My name is Galaxy Gaming, and what we do here is I like to assist people in trying to figure out what their cards would get as a PSA grade. I've been doing this for quite some time. Been doing this, there's a few Wednesdays that I missed because I was on vacation, but we are back, baby. So welcome in. And so how this works is people submit their cards in the Grade Review channel on the Discord for a free review. And we are about to just hop right into it with the OG himself, Mike, coming in with some Team Rocket Snorlax EX all the way back from 2004. So I will start with him. So how this works, guys, is we are doing the grading criteria for PSA, but this can also carry over to PSA, Beckett, CGC, all of the fun stuff. So we are going to be going over that today. In addition, everything that you're seeing today can also be put to Beckett or CGC or whatever your preferred grading company is. But at the end of the day, these are the things that you need to do if you do not want to be upset with potential grades. So just because a card comes out of a pack does not mean it will get a 10 instantly. So we're going to go over all that today, and we are going to get right into it. So first up is Mike's submission in the pilot tier. I'll be mentioning those tiers here in a second, but thank you, Mike, as always, for subscribing and supporting the channel. Always means a lot. I feel like you know that, but it's worth giving you shout outs. Thank you as always, Mike. So the 4 main grading criteria is centering, corners, edges, and surface. So we're going to be going over all 4 today. And if anyone has any questions about anything that I'm doing or anything that you want to just simply know more about, because I do vend part-time, so I have a lot of experience in that area as well. I've been vending for about 3 years. So any questions you guys may have, please feel free to let me know, and we are going to get right into it. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at today is the centering. So on this card in particular, the centering is going to be on the silver edges here. So we're going to be looking at this section right here, and then this section right here. So there are several apps that you can use. There's a lot of different tools and techniques that you can use. But for me, I just like to kind of explain in general terms, because you can do your research and whatever tools work for you. But ultimately, it boils down to, does the left side equal the right side? Does the top side equal the bottom side on both the front and the back? With the front being a little bit more stingy compared to the back. So, to show that real quick, we're going to use the snipping tool. And we're just going to use this little ruler here. So how it normally works is first, we are going to measure the left side. So we're just going to be, I'm just going to refer to these as hash marks because I know a lot of people watch me from different parts of the world. So we'll just refer to them as hash marks. So no millimeters or centimeters or half inches. We're just going to call them by hash marks. So for this one, the border is going to be from, let me just make sure that we are lined up. So the border is going to be from, if I can draw my line here. So it's going to be from here to right about there. And then on this side, we'll have to adjust that a little bit, but we will calculate. So how it works is we go from the left to the right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 5 hash marks on the left side. And then when we go to the right side, it's going to be from here to here. It's going to be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. So roughly 5, 5 and 5. If I can actually write the 5, there we go. So what this means is that if it's 5 hash marks on the left side and 5 hash marks on the right side, the centering in this example would be 50-50. So really good centering. That's what we like to see, especially on a card of this magnitude. So next up, we're going to just kind of take a look at the general surface and as much as we can in these pictures. So we're going to do that right now. So normally I just start in the top right there. You can start in top left, doesn't really matter. But normally I like to start with the corners. So top right corner looks good. The application that I'm using, Radish, is just the snipping tool baked into Windows. So super easy. So as we go to the right, the top edge looks really good. Now the only thing, yeah, we had to adjust the, so when you saw me adjust the angle like so, that's what I was doing right there. So I was adjusting based off of the tilt as much as I possibly can do on the internet. Because one thing you guys have to keep in mind is eBay will be announcing, because it was released officially in their magazine, that you will be able to buy cards raw and submit them directly to PSA for grading. So all these techniques were going to be very useful here in the future. So you can't reference everything? Okay. So the only thing that I can see first off, Mike, is pay attention to this corner right here. So the first thing I saw when I saw it from this angle is this right here possibly could be a small indent right in the middle of this green circle here. So if I kind of do right like that, that possibly could be a small indentation. The reason why I think that is when I kind of zoom out and kind of zoom in, there's a little bit of a shadow or kind of a valley there from what I can tell. So just kind of keep that in mind if that does come back as something that you weren't looking for. That might be a small indent, but it's really hard to tell. But just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. I know you said you've already submitted it, but just to keep that in the back of your mind. That was the kind of the first thing that I saw. Awesome. Burger. Yeah, Burgers. This card is a really good card. I have an SR Mega Gengar. I mean, you're always welcome to submit it, Burns. I'm always looking. Doesn't look like an indent? Okay. It might be, too, just the quality zooming it in. Awesome. Well, good luck, Burgers. Okay, so left edge looks good. Bottom left corner, a little first edition stamp there, looking good. Bottom right corner looks good. So, yeah, so far the surface on this actually looks really clean. So really no major issues that I can see on the corners, if you're saying that that's not a dent, which is good. And so from other angles that you submitted, which is always good, because when we're looking at hollow, especially on a card like this, the more angles, the better. We want to make sure that we can see all those potential scratches that might be present on the card. So the more angles, the better. So from the left side, I don't see any major print lines or anything like that. Japanese cards tend to have really good print quality, so it's pretty rare, to be honest, to see any print lines or any major issues there. So far so good that side. This side, the only thing that I potentially can see Once I'm done with a few of Mike's cards burns, I'd be more than happy to explain the entire process. Again, this is completely free and always will be, but Mike is actually a subscriber, which I can go into once I'm done with a few of his cards. So the only thing that I see, Mike, is this possibly right here. So I'll trace it with, let's do yellow because the background is a little bit purple. So I'm going to basically trace, so right around here, you can kind of see what appears to be a scratch. So you can kind of see, here's what it looks like with me illustrating on it, and then here is what it looks like. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's pretty hard because it's kind of zoomed in to the left here, but you can kind of see, I'll kind of trace it slightly with my mouse here. You can kind of see a little bit of a scratch kind of going across the body of the Snorlax, Team Rocket Snorlax. So that might be a little bit. Do you think I will get a 9 with slight whitening? I'd have to see it, Burgers. It's always the answer of it depends, to be quite honest with you, brother. So that's really the only thing I saw on the front was just that scratch. The back, the app, all I'm using is, this is a Chrome extension, this magnifying, DNA. And the Chrome extension is called Magnifying Glass Hover Zoom. Right now, I am helping folks assess their cards for grading, which is a completely free service. So instead of paying 20 bucks and, you know, not really knowing what to look for, the services that I offer, which is I stream this every Wednesday, I help people just to kind of get an insight on what to look for and what your cards might potentially get as a PSA grade, maybe save you some money. So, for example, on this one, Betty, what's going on? What up, what up? Yeah, anytime, Nolan. Once I'm done with a few of Mike's, I'll be more than happy to share how you guys can submit for a grade review. So if you just be patient with me just for a little bit longer, I definitely appreciate it, and I will share with that soon. But I also have some mods back. Betty just woke up from her nap, so maybe she can help me out. All right, so on the back, we have some whitening. So actually, I'm going to just take a quick screenshot of this because there are some marks that we're going to have to polish up here. So let me start here. So this is the back of that Snorlax. So we are going to make some highlights here on some whitening. And we'll use a little green action. So right up here is some whitening. Look up in that section. Definitely have some here. So right about in that section. And as we go across, we have some on that left corner. Sounds good, Burgers. Thanks so much for stopping by, my friend. Right now, I'm just using snipping tools, but I use a bunch of different tools, Saul. I'll definitely go over here in a second. Right now, I'm just kind of marking some whitening that I'm seeing on Mike's card here. So right now, I'm just focusing on the edges, because there are some indents that I'm seeing that I'll mark in a different color. But basically, all on this side, pretty much that whole left side. And we have some whitening here on that bottom edge. We have some whitening here with some pretty major whitening on that bottom right side. Yeah, right. I need to show you a card my friend submitted to PSA. Definitely. Oh yes, Betty, definitely. Hopefully it's a good candidate and not a bad one. Like that how you said that gets me a little bit nervous for your friend. All right, so and then this side. So it's pretty much just whitening on all four corners and all four edges. Now, the only other thing that I saw that I think is worth noting, and I'll let this in kind of this like hot pink here, is we do have a little bit of a dent right about there on that left side. And so right now I'm just kind of looking, seeing if there's any other dents or any other major issues on the back of this card? And so far, no. So I would say, hey, Alberto, how's it going? Long time no see, my friend. And Nikolai, what's going on? It's been a while, my friend. How's it going? Okay, so a few things. So the front is definitely better in terms of centering, in terms of damage. The only thing that I saw on the front was this little scratch on the front side here, right where I'm kind of tracing my mouse, but it's really more on the back. So everything that you kind of see in green is all the whitening that I was able to highlight, and this little magenta spot was a little bit of an impact from what I saw. And also a little bit of the centering is thicker on that left side than it is the right. Luckily, on the back, there's a little bit more leniency. So we have that. Nug, how long have I been doing this? I've been doing grade reviews. This is episode 74, and I've been doing them every Wednesday since then, for the most part. Oh, yeah, Nikolai. Well, welcome back, my friend. So, yeah, I've been doing it for a while. And I also keep track of my accuracy. Mike has helped me out tremendously by posting his results. He's a frequent flyer of the channel. So I would say the whitening on this, so if we were to just look at the front to start with this mild scratch, you're probably looking at, like, you know, 8, hopefully, but it's not bad enough to be a 7. So just the front alone, we're looking at an 8. However, when we look at the back, a lot of the whitening is really going to set us back, especially with that little impact. However, with the amount of whitening, it kind of brings it down to, you know, like the range would be like from a 6 to a 4. 4 would be that, like, for example, this bottom right section, if there was a lot of whitening like that, would be more of a 4. But it's although the whitening is present, it's not like crazy. But I would say that this little dent would definitely put it down a peg from that 6. So we're kind of in that 6 to we're in that 5 to 4 range with the back. But I would say, just because how clean the front looks, I'd probably lean more towards a potential like 5, only because I'm a little bit worried about that minor dent in the back and the amount of whitening. For example, the Charizard that I got back from PSA had a little bit worse whitening on the back, and the front was in pretty good shape, and that ended up getting a 4. So that's where I'm kind of leaning from that past experience, why I'm thinking more of a 5 than a 4. But that would be my prediction for your Snorlax. I don't know why I keep messing it up, because I always want to keep saying Team Rocket Snorlax EX. It's a mouthful. That's why I keep jumbling my thoughts. Okay, so for those of you who are wondering how to submit your cards, I'll go over that real quick. So eyes and ears on me. So how you do it. So I am multi-streaming tonight, so if you want to watch me over on other platforms, I am doing so on all 3. So in those, they're going to be in the description. For TikTok, the link is going to be in the bio. Once you are there, you're going to go to my Linktree, and you're going to zoom all the way up here, and you're going to click or tap the Discord icon. Once you have joined the Discord, you're going to submit your pictures and your cards in the grade review channel. Again, the service will always and forever be free. The only thing to keep in mind is that the service is first come, first serve. So if you want your cards assessed as soon as possible, make sure to send your pictures in as soon as possible while following the rules. For example, I can't review pictures, you know, that are in top loaders or sleeves, stuff like that. And I also can't review cards that have already been graded. In addition, I review 5 cards per person per stream, so keep that in mind as well. So if you cannot wait, because sometimes the queue does get a little bit long, the more of these, because I'm finally back from vacation, so we're going to be doing these weekly on Wednesdays, starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. If you want priority, as well as some other cool benefits, the Discord does offer a subscription starting at $2.99 a month, which not only gives you priority grade review, but additional entries into monthly Discord giveaways. And the higher subscription, the better perks you get. So that is how you do it. So DNA, real quick, because I saw that you were leaving, just go into the link in bio, click the Linktree. Next, click the Discord icon that you see on screen, and then submit your cards in the grade review channel. And if you need help, we have moderators in there that will help you out. So Man, I got a lot of love for you guys today. Thank you guys so much. Crafters, Value, Nick, Frank, DNA, Matt, Nug. Thank you guys so much for the follows. I really do appreciate that very much. And let's move on with, so Mike had, this is basically the big boy hour. So first we finished the Team Rocket Snorlax. Now we got the illustration promo Snorlax. So I believe the lore behind this bad boy was that this was basically a joke, and ended up winning the illustration by Craig here. So let's take a look. So centering on this should be good, but as always, we'll take a little bit of a reminder or refresh just in case if you guys are new here. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, if you want my thoughts on anything in the hobby, I also vend on the side. I've been doing that for a little over 2 years. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that as well, I'm more than happy to answer anything as truthfully and as honestly as I can. I know, Value. I love this Snorlax. I love how just like low effort it is. Yeah, you can. I won't look at it today because the queue is closed, but the sooner you submit your cards, the faster you'll be in a future grade review. I stream every Wednesday starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So the right side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tick marks on the right side. And again, I'm doing tick marks just because it makes it a little bit easier just to explain on stream. But normally what I use is I actually use a transparent ruler with millimeter markers. So if I really need to measure centering, that's what I use personally. So the left side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a little bit over 5. The art is based on where the wild things are. Lance, you know what's crazy? I never knew that. But I can definitely kind of see maybe a little bit of the influence for sure, especially with the shading. Oh, that's really cool. Could you show the right channel to send pictures in? Yeah, Nick, all you got to do is if you're in the Discord, there should be a channel in there called Grade Review. And you just submit your pictures in there. Okay, so we have 5 tick marks on the left, 6 tick marks on the right. So how we do centering, so we'd add both of those up, getting 11. And then all you do to get the ratio is you divide one of the sides, which is 6, divided by 11. And you have roughly, if we're not going to be rounding up, we have at least 54 to 46. So we are in the range of a PSA 10 just from centering. If my card has a tiny white dot, pretty off center, would that be 8 or 9? Depends on the centering, if it's on the front or the back null, and there's a lot of different factors. I hate to be like cop-out answers, but it really depends. Because there are some that I would say, yeah, I would get a 10 because of the whitening, but some I'd say, no, it wouldn't. Sasquan, thank you guys for the follows. Appreciate that very much. All right, so the next thing is, so now that we have the centering, and normally for centering, guys, really what that's doing is it's setting the ceiling. So at best, if this card was flawless, the centering is at least getting us to a 10, where if the centering, you know, was 60-40 on the front, for example, where if we capped out at maybe like centering score of 8, you really can't get higher than an 8. So it's kind of setting that ceiling. But we also have some other things kind of going with this card. So first we start with the corner. So the top right corner looks fine. Now we're kind of looking at the top edge. Top left corner so far looks good. Maybe there might be something here, but that's a little bit tough. DNA, thank you for sharing the live. Left edge looks good. Bottom left corner looks good. The Discord link, DNA, is in. If you go into my bio, click the link tree, and there should be a Discord icon you just click on. Bottom edge, bottom right corner looks good. Right edge looks good. Have a little bit of something there. But that's about it. Now we're kind of going to the surface here. So we do possibly see some scratching. I'll kind of highlight it in a box here. So right about in here. So that little white line in the middle of that kind of rectangle there might be a scratch. But aside from that, there's really not much else that I see. So it's just this little blemish here on the right border, and then this potential scratch across the face here. But we can kind of look at that from a more zoomed out area. So that's the scratch that I was talking about, and that's that little blemish that I was talking about as well. Let's see. So how my algorithm goes, DNA, really it gets kind of pushed out more to Pokemon fans than One Piece. I've tried One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh, but it just doesn't do as well. So right now it's just Pokemon. Until that changes, it's just Pokemon. So the back side, centering looks good. Top, bottom, left, right. Again, there's more leniency on the back than there is on the front. But like I said, a lot of the techniques that you will see can also carry over to other TCGs as well. So it's not just Pokemon that these techniques work for or what we need to see. So just keep that in mind too. So everything that you're kind of seeing, you can kind of do on One Piece cards as well. So let's look at, so we have that on the front. So now let's kind of take a pick at the back here. So we have some whitening here on that top right side. Top edge looks good. Possibly some issues here. Let's see. Yeah, click the link in my bio if you guys want to submit your cards for a grade review. So the link in bio, and then click on the Discord icon on the top and submit in the grade review channel. I needed to take a picture of the full card, not just the top half. So let me just draw these. So there was a little bit of whitening here, a little bit of whitening here. Let's see. So there's some pretty noticeable whitening on that bottom left corner. A little bit here, but really not too bad. In addition, we have some blemishes there, which I think that right here is the first one that I probably can say this to. This one can probably be just wiped off. It looks like a little bit of dust, but that's about it. I know you said you submitted this already, so. Okay, so with the whitening on the back, so all what's kind of highlighted in red here. So we have mild whitening in the top right-hand corner, potentially. Some possible whitening here, or it's lighting on that top left corner. But really the one that I saw the most of was this bottom left corner, especially in this section right here, was pretty noticeable, and some small ones there. So I would say with the front having this little weird kind of blemish, I'm hoping that probably just got wiped off. In addition, we have some scratching here across the front face. So we're kind of at 8 at the best, because I'm assuming you could probably have wiped that off. At least I'm hoping in your sake. And then on the back, the centering's good, but it's just the whitening on the back. So I'd probably say, you know, and I think you actually did wipe it off, because this is another picture. The second picture, I just noticed that. So that's good. So the front scratch, the centering is good, but then the back is the whitening. You're probably in that range of like an 8 to a 7. It's kind of tough, because if there's any, you know, blemishes or anything like that, I'd probably be more inclined to put it at a 7. But I'm just kind of zooming in here a little bit and looking at this like top right corner or the top left corner. I would probably say, especially with the whitening here on the bottom left corner, the top right corner, and possibly the top left as well, I'd probably lean more towards a very clean 7 as opposed to an 8. But it's definitely within that range, because I'm also seeing some possible whitening here on the left. But again, it's really kind of hard to tell if it's the matte or not. And you guys can't see what I'm talking about. Right here on this left edge. In addition to that little blemish. But I'd probably say more towards the 7 than an 8 with that scratch, and probably some other stuff that we can't see, especially on the backside, would be my guess. So let me just catch up with chat here before I continue. I have a premium Charizard collection from the premium collection. Trying to send that in. Nice, for grading. Nice. Well, good luck. Morty, thanks for the follow. I'm just using Chrome DNA. I'm using Chrome. I'm using a magnifier, magnifying glass hover zoom Chrome extension. I'm using a snipping tool from Windows. I'm using all of the above. But yeah, I hear you, Valia. I was thinking the same thing. Do people really need someone else to? So there's also some other areas to metal, because there are a lot of people who don't really understand. It's less of can you help me find the whitening. It's more of how much whitening will equate to a potential certain grade. So I get a lot of questions asking me, hey, will this whitening prevent me from getting a 10? Or how much will this whitening affect? It's more of those types of questions, to be honest, that I get, and less of can you help me find the whitening. And that was another edge picture that I forgot to show. Are you zoomed in, or is that just a very large card? No, Green. I'm just using a Chrome extension to zoom in on certain cards. That's all I'm doing. Presley sees some whitening. All right. So, the third Snorlax of Mike's submission. And if you guys are enjoying yourself, please let me know by liking and sharing the live. It really does mean a lot. Again, I'm also streaming on other platforms as well if you want to take a look at those, depending on if you want a different viewing experience. Yeah. Do I have experience as a grader or something? I don't professionally, but I also have been keeping track of my grades since 2017. So basically, I do like a self-assessment. So I've been doing it for 8 years now and keeping track ever since. And so I basically just learned over the 8 years that I've been doing that. I just kind of take those lessons and I've digested it into these weekly streams and just kind of help people understand what to look for. Because there's too many people out there that will automatically open a card, submit it to GameStop, and wonder why their cards got 9s or 10s. I don't know if your guys' TikTok algorithms like that, but I lost count at this point how many people complain that they didn't get a 10 or whatever. It's crazy. Big Al, Braden, Jetro, thank you guys for the follows. Appreciate that very much. And once I'm done with this Snorlax, I will go over how to submit your cards for a free grade review. So hang tight. Awesome. Well, good luck, Mac. All right. So centering on this front card actually is pretty good. There's really not much I don't need to bust out the ruler or anything. So let's zoom in just a tad here. And we're actually going to keep forgetting that I have this. So we're going to take a screenshot of that so we can kind of really look at the corners here. Yeah, I hear you, Value. I just submitted a few vintage cards myself that are in the grading phase, and I'm always scared, especially vintage, so we will see. So top right corner looks great. Top edge looks good. Now, the one thing with Jungle that we always want to keep an eye out for, Jungle and Fossil, and towards the end of base set specifically, are notorious for having what's called silvering, which would be silvered edges during the manufacturing process. So a lot of these cards have that issue. But so far, this Snorlax does not, which is really good from what I can tell. So top left corner looks good. The Mom Flip, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Let's see. So top left looks good. Left edge looks good. Bottom corner looks good. Bottom edge looks good. This is a really clean Snorlax so far. So far, so good. Let's hope that the back is good. But right now, I'm just kind of looking at the text, especially with colorless Pokemon. These cards are notorious for being way stricter for grading just because scratches show up so easily. I post the queue every week as a thread in the grade review channel, so you can kind of see where I left off at. And basically, you just start from there and work your way down. And I review max 20 cards per stream because I yap a lot. So if I did any more, it'd be like 3 or 4 hours. And I like to give you guys a good assessment, so that's why it takes me so long. So from this angle, the only thing I kind of see is these little, what appears to be something, but I think you have some other angles that we're going to see now. So that's really what I can tell. So here are some of those other angles. So I think we just basically, what I was kind of talking about with colorless having a little bit more sensitivity to scratches or dings or anything like that. This right side, you can kind of see a little bit of these like weird blemishes on the hollow foil itself. You definitely can see that in most vintage. Sometimes you can kind of just wipe that off with a microfiber cloth and some distilled water or something like that. But here we have a little bit more visibility on some of those scratches that we're kind of starting to now see from these different angles here. Let me just take another. So some of those I'll kind of circle. So we have one right there. We have one right there. Have one. Boom. Possibly there. So we're starting to have some of those scratches kind of show up. One possibly here, but I'm not really too sure what that is. It's just some generic stuff's kind of stuck onto the hollow foil. There. In addition, it looks like there might be, because the fanny of the Slowpoke of the Snorlax is right about there. So right where, and I'll probably use a different color to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So if we go from here to here, that's kind of what it looks like, a print line, specifically, kind of going across that. Let's see. Do I fix cards? Right now, I'm learning some new techniques to do so, but I do have an affiliate code on a masterclass on everything that you need to know, which can be found in my link tree in my bio. You go right here to the Card Cleaning Master Guide. That is a sponsor that I have. So yeah, that's really all the scratches that I see right now, at least on that front side. So if we flip it over, this is where we are seeing some potential issues with the whitening specifically, but not really that bad. So on the right side, it's a little bit thicker on that right side than the left, but as a reminder, the back side is much more lenient than the front. So technically on paper, PSA at this time for the back is 75-25 ratio, where the front was 60-40 but is now 55-45. So much stricter on the front than the back. But we should be good here. Celestial, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that very much, my friend. The fanny. I know, trainer. So the right side's a little bit thicker, but we're definitely within that range. So you can kind of see those on the front, but let's kind of take a look at the back here. So if we zoom in on the top here, we have this whitening up there on that top edge. Right corner looks good. We kind of go across. Top edge looks okay. We have a little bit of some like little white specks that could probably just be wiped off again with a microfiber. Not too bad. We got one there. Here. So stuff like this, just as a reminder, guys, don't expect PSA to wipe this stuff off for you, right? They're not our parents. We got to kind of do our due diligence and kind of make sure that we do the basic in card cleaning, which is just wiping down any of this little white card stock that might kind of get stuck into the dimple or the texture of the card stock on the back, because the more you leave on there, the more chances that you will have your surface subgrade get dinged. So just kind of take a look at that as well. Bottom right corner looks fine. This right edge looks okay. Maybe a little bit of whitening there. But aside from that, I don't see any major surface issues, which is good. So the back, with the exception of that little bit of whitening and kind of those little fuzzies kind of stuck on the back, we do have that, but it's really just in this picture really kind of highlights it, is most of the scratches kind of in this top right-hand section, in addition to a print line towards the bottom. So I'd probably say for this Snorlax specifically, the centering is really good. It's really just the scratches in this top right section that's going to set you back. So at best, you're at an 8. But as we kind of flip it over and you kind of see some of these like surface issues, like very slight surface issues towards the top, we have some little white specks kind of stuck across the surface, in addition to some pretty notable whitening up here. I'd probably say that this would get you most likely a 7 in my opinion, as opposed to an 8. But I don't think it's as bad to where this whitening, for example, or the condition of the scratching would bring you down to a 6. So I'd probably say that this Snorlax would most likely get a 7, in my opinion. Okay, so let me just catch up with chat real quick. Thank you guys so much for the support, by the way. Thank you for the likes and follows and shares. If I have not thanked you already, it really does mean a lot. How can I submit? How can I submit? Okay, so I will go over right now how you guys can submit your cards in 30 seconds or less. So if you are watching me on other platforms, I am multi-streaming right now, either on Twitch or YouTube. The link is in the description. If you're watching me on TikTok, the link is in the bio, which is a Linktree link. Once you are here, you're going to go up top with my social icons, and you're going to click or tap the Discord icon. Once you are joined in the Discord, you're going to submit your pictures in the Grade Review channel. The service is absolutely for free, and I do these streams every Wednesday starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, you can submit as many cards as you want, absolutely for free, but it is first come, first serve. So if you want me to assess your cards as soon as possible, because sometimes I do have a little bit of a queue to review cards, so the faster you submit your cards, the faster I will have them in queue for a future grade review. However, if you want to be as cool as Mike and want priority grade review along with some other perks, the Discord does offer a subscription starting at $2.99 a month, which not only gives you priority grade review each week, but also gives you additional entries into giveaways, as well as some behind the scenes of what I do as a Pokemon vendor, some early access to inventory that I normally don't have online, but I offer to the community, and much more. So if you want to support me, that is not a requirement, but if you want those perks, I would definitely appreciate a subscription. So that is how you do it. I appreciate that, Flip. Thank you so much. And good luck. Good luck with that vintage. I have some vintage right now into PSA, and I'm very nervous, but I'm hoping they're at least 8s or higher. So does it have to be like a really good card? Not necessarily. Really just the rule of thumb, Jenna, is as long as it's not bulk, right? So I wouldn't review like commons or uncommons or Vs or reverse hollows. You know what I mean? Like stuff that, you know, if it was raw and ungraded, you know, like if it's 20 or more, then that's a good rule of thumb. So pretty much not bulk is what I like to review. All right, next up is the Raichu. And again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. It really does mean a lot. Hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves, and hopefully you're learning something. And if there's any other questions that you guys have, it doesn't even have to pertain to grading. Please feel free to let me know in the comments, and I'd be more than happy to answer. I'm trying to answer as many questions and comments as I can, so if I miss you, I definitely appreciate your patience as I kind of go through. Hoping for the same. I have a Feraligatr that's really clean, might throw it in your Discord. Awesome. Well, if you don't have a chance to do that, we also have a collections channel in the Discord that I pretty much live vicariously through you guys, so I always love seeing your guys' collection. I really just like having a good community. At the end of the day, we're just a bunch of collectors, and, you know, not everything is needing to min-max. But if the centering on the back is horrendous, how much does that bring you down? I would say check the ratio requirements, but for example, 75-25 is the worst it can be if it was just the back, and that's still within a 10 range. So you definitely just have to measure the back and do a ratio calculation. Or find an app or something like that that would do it for you. Brandon, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that very much, my friend. And Cody, you guys are the best, man. I appreciate all the love. Gotta hydrate. All right. Raichu. Let's look at you. So centering. So that right side is looking a little thick. Slide, thank you for the follow. Brandon, thank you for the follow. You guys are the best, man. I appreciate you very much. So this right side looking a little dummy thick, if I do say so myself, but let's let the ruler decide. And Allie, I know you're just asking this, so this is what I'm doing right now on the front side. You can pretty much do on the back as well. So I'm just taking this little transparent ruler here. We're going to go zoop, and we're going to count the tick marks. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5, roughly. I know someone's going to tell me that it's more 6.48. Well, this is more of an example, guys. All right. At the end of the day, I always recommend you measure yourself. So we got right about there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 roughly. So 5.5. So we have 5.5 roughly tick marks on the left side, 6.5 on the right. So again, how we do that is we add both of those values. So 5.5 plus 6.5. We get ourselves a nice 12. And so what we do to calculate the ratio is we divide one of those sides by 12. So we'll just pick 6.5 divided by 12, which is 54.541, so on and so forth. So technically, if we're going to just base off of the measurements we're looking at on stream, it is going to be 54.46. Grading is a scam. Change my mind. Everyone's got their own opinion. I don't need to change your mind. I collect, one of my fun collections I'm doing right now is all ungraded. But now I will say people hyping CGC 5.5 Vs and selling them for 70, that's a scam. Shout out TCG Police. I don't know if you guys have seen that new account pop up, but let's say it's very interesting. So the centering looking good on the front. So let's take a look at the rest of the card. So here is what I was kind of talking about when we're talking about silvering here. So this possibly, and Mike, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong, my friend, because I know you said you submitted a lot of these because this is a little bit backlogged, but in this section that I'm looking at on the right side, these little kind of dings on the side, to me, look like silvering, but you might be able to know more than me. This one didn't, yeah, if you could check if those areas, so if I kind of zoom out a little bit and you kind of see that hot pink on the right side, to me, it possibly looks like silvering, because I don't think that's dirt, because normally if I see it on the edge, I think it's silvering. So that's probably what I see so far. I'm going to assume it's silvering until you tell me otherwise. The right corner looks good. Top edge looks good. The other thing that I don't know, and I don't know if you guys can see it, and I'm really zooming in here, is you can kind of see a little bit of discoloration here. So sometimes when I talk about taking advantage of your light source, if you kind of see a little bit of a dark spot, that might mean that it's a little bit of a shadow. So when you guys are looking at, Facebook Marketplace or eBay listings or stuff like that, definitely pay attention to the light, because a lot of the shadows that come up will tell you a lot about a card's condition just based off of some of the shadows you see. So if that is a shadow, that has a chance at being a dent. Maybe it's a three-dimensional Noah. Maybe it's a Raichu here. It's a three-dimensional art piece. The top left corner looking good, looking fresh. Left edge looks good. Bottom left corner looks good. Bottom edge looks good. Bottom right, again, a little bit of more of what appears to be silvering in this on this right side. Once I'm done with this submission, I've gone over a few times, but I know you just joined, so I'm not saying, but I will go over that once I'm done with Mike's submission. So I have this one in a Mew. So if you just hang tight for me real quick, I definitely appreciate it, and I'll definitely make sure to go over how to do it, or if a mod wants to help out too. So Scott, thank you for the follow, appreciate that. Front edge, I would say silvering, yes, okay. So that is a little bit of silvering. Additionally, we do have a little bit of what appears to be some dirt or grime underneath that eye. So if we can wipe that off, that would be great if we can. Justin, Noah, J-Dub, Anthony. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate that, guys. So now, we have a little bit of a... I always like this. Not like anything crazy, but we have a little bit of a hollow shift, which is always kind of cool on the bottom there. So now we're kind of just looking, there's some other angles. So once we look at the angles, we're going to look at some more scratches. But you can kind of see some kind of poking right in this section. But we're going to see a little bit more as we see. So this is what I kind of see to start. So Mike was able to confirm that this right side, so where I have all this pink on this right side, is in fact silvering, so that will impact that edge score, that edge sub-score. So let's take a look on this side. More so this. Ooh, there we go. Oh yeah, as you said it, I definitely, and I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this so you guys can see it a little bit easier because it's kind of tucked all the way to the right, or to the left rather. And right here, that is a right about there. So I'm highlighting underneath it, but those are some pretty noticeable scratches on that left side. But aside from that, those are really the only two big ones that I see so far. But yeah, it's really just the silvering and those scratches. You can kind of see a little bit more here as well, right by the kind of the arm here, by the paw. So we got some scratches there, some right here. So right now, you know, we're kind of at kind of in that 7 to 6 range at best, but we haven't even flipped it over yet, which really isn't that bad, all things considered. So centering on the back looks okay, a little bit thicker on the bottom than the top, but again, the back is a little bit more lenient, so we're not going to be worrying about that too much. The top right, I'm actually going to do that again. So top right, a little bit of whitening here on that right side. Possibly a little bit here. Again, it might be your matte that might be kind of giving us a little bit of illusion, but not too bad. Possibly some whitening here, in addition to some whitening on that blue cardstock layer on that edge. So now we're just kind of going along that back left edge, kind of making our way down. Maybe some whitening here, but again, the matte is a little bit tricky because I don't know if it's really the matte or the card, but this one's definitely for sure on the card, as maybe that too. Pretty much everything that I'm kind of going over collections is like the main, kind of the main areas for grading, which is centering, corners, edges, and surface. So that's pretty much the big ones. So we have some whitening here. And this what appears to be the actual cardstock removed from that surface right there. So that will take a little bit from that, a little bit of whitening there. So it's really just I don't know if you guys have caught the secret slime action phrase, which is whitening, is pretty much on the back. And it looks like you just said that you took some other pictures on that back side. We also have some pretty gnarly scratches on that back surface in addition to that that little white. So that's looks like some ink from what you're saying, and that's what it looks like, is that blue ink layer missing from that section. So I would say, you know, with the whitening, especially the scratches are pretty noticeable on the back. So we have some here, we have some on the M and Pokemon. You can kind of see in this section, we have some going across the top part of the Pokeball. You know, so we're definitely out of that kind of 7 range because the scratches are pretty noticeable and pretty predominant, especially in this section right here. And let me just again zoom in just for people who are coming in. You kind of see those two pretty noticeable scratches in addition to being near the paw on this one, with some silvering on the right side and some notable scratches across that back side. So I'd probably say, you know, I don't think it can be near mint. We're kind of at best, you know, we're in that range from a 6 to a 4. I don't think it's anything worse than a 3 because we don't see any major creases or bends or anything like that. So we're in that range of a 6 to 4. However, with a bit of whitening on the corners, as well as some ink being missing here and some scratches on the back, you know, we're kind of in that 6 to 5 range with some of that whitening on that left side. So it's kind of a toss-up between the both. I don't think it would get a 4, but I'd probably say it'd be That'd be like a weak 6 to a strong 5. I'm kind of like on the fence between both, but I'd probably say more on probably the 6 side, because the whitening really isn't that bad from what I can tell. It's really just hard for me to see on this side. That's why I'm kind of leaning it between a 6 or a 5, because I really can't tell from this angle, because that's just the center layer of the cardstock. So anywhere from like a 6 to a 5, I could see an argument between the two. But especially with these scratches on the front and the silvering, I'd probably say, you know what, I'd probably say a 5, just because of the silvering on that right side. Would be my guess. Because I wasn't really considering that as the other factor. So I'd probably say more of like a stronger 5. But you might get lucky and get a weak 6. But let's see. All right, so once I am done with Mike's final submission of the night, which is this Mew, a lot of M's and N's tongue twisting me there, I will go over how you guys can submit for a free grade review. Again, I stream every Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. to try to help you guys as much as I can, give you my my experience in the hobby. I've been doing this since 2017. I've been vending since beginning of 2023. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, like what sets I think are good or what sets I think are overrated, Cough, Prismatic Cough, I'll be more than happy to answer any of those questions as much as I can. What would a PSA 1 look like? I'm sure we'll come across one. AMX. I'm sure we'll come across one. So one thing I've noticed with Japanese Fossil is it's always the centering that gives us some issues. And so that right side, I could probably tell you that this definitely won't get the 10 just because of the centering on that right side. Yeah, anytime, Core. Or Chore. Core. Like I said, I'll go over how to submit once I'm done with this Mew. So I'd probably say, you know, at best, it's definitely right heavy. But it's really just, again, I would measure it in person to really get the true average. But just to kind of show you guys on why I don't think it would get the 10 just from the centering alone. So again, we're going to be using this little transparent ruler here so you guys can see nice and easy on stream. So we go from there to there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tick marks roughly on that right side. And we got roughly, let's see. So we got from there to there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on there. And so that is going to be 5 divided by 9. So that's kind of in that range of if they decide to round up in this example, if it was a 56 to 44, you'd be out of that 10 contention. If they decided, you know, not to round up, you're right on the line of that 55-45. But I can just kind of tell visually that if it were my card, I would probably say more of a 9 just from that right side being a little bit noticeably thicker on the left side. Mew cards make me mad because my brother has an Ancient Mew in amazing condition. That's awesome, Jenna. Yeah, I love that Ancient Mew. I just actually picked up a bunch not too long ago, but that Ancient Mew is sick. But this one's good too. Corners looks good. The top right corner looks good. Top left corner looks good. Nice little fat swirl there. Can't ignore that. Shout out to the swirl collectors out there in chat. Bottom left corner looking good. Bottom edge looks good. Maybe a little bit of dirt or something on this side. So right next to the 151 here. Possibly something here would be something you can probably try to wipe off. Right edge looks good. And then I don't know what this is. What's the rarest Gengar card? He's one of my favorites. I think the rarest would probably be the trade vendor promo. I think that's the one where you had to mail in a trade. I forgot what the card was. It was a Japanese exclusive where you had to mail in a trade card promo, and Game Freak or whoever mailed you back the Gengar. It was from the vending series. I think that might be the rarest. But I'm not, I might be wrong. But I think that's the rarest one that I can think of. But that one would probably be a little bit of an issue. I'm not sure if that's a scratch or a fuzz. Yeah, you had to send in a trade card. I'd have to look it up. But that art is sick. Just look up Gengar vending series and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because they had one for Gengar, Alakazam, Golem, Machamp. It was all the cards. It was all the Pokemon that you needed to trade to evolve. That was what they did. Yeah. Yep. And you weren't guaranteed the Gengar either, like what Shore was saying, because it was like, oh, you're trading and you're getting a random card back from the ones that could evolve through trading. But that one is sick. Yeah, definitely a little bit of fuzz. The holo is really clean, Mike, on this Mew. Now the only thing that I can see, and again, this is another reason why it's always good to double check your cards to do basic cleaning, because PSA will not do it for you, is what appears to be a thumbprint on this right side. So in this section right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it looks like a thumbprint. So you can kind of see, and I'll make it, we'll make it yellow. So you can kind of see here, right, these little waves would appear to be thumbprints. So all that looks like a little bit of a thumbprint action. So something like that, you can just use, you know, a little bit of microfiber, like a microfiber cloth, a little bit of distilled water, very, very mild, and just make sure to get that thumbprint off. But that'd really be the only thing that I can see there. Yeah, right, AMX. I've been doing this for a while, man. I've been doing this for a while. That's why Mike pays me the big bucks. Let's see. I'm not sure if those are scratches. Right here. Let me see. You had another. I don't know. I don't know if these are scratches or not. That'd probably be the only thing I'd check, Mike. It looks too faint to be a scratch. And I don't know why this angle specifically really makes this look like a bunch of scratches. I would just double check this. Because from here, these look like scratches. But from this angle here, near the eye, and this one near the eye, you can kind of see something, but it's really dark and really faint. So it's pretty tough. To really know if that's a scratch. I'll double check that. But man, that swirl, look at that, chat. That was a nice little swirl there. But that's really the only thing I see is that thumbprint and what appears to be some scratches, and I think you said that this was a fuzz. So the front is pretty good shape. So the right side. So right side looks pretty well centered. Again, old vintage Japanese cards are so easy to measure centering because you literally just use that really bold red line and go out. So I'm always a fan of doing those. I would say AMX, the best way to check prices for cards, if it's raw, I would say TCG Player for a majority, especially for modern. Vintage is always a little tough. And then for graded, I use a good one is eBay last sold listings, or I use Alt, A-L-T. It's a free source. The reason why I like Alt is because it actually shows you listings that were canceled or weren't fully paid, where some like price charting will tell you, you know, certain sales data that, you know, may have gotten refunded, but the sales data is still there. It just made me realize Pokemon meant to be like pocket monsters. Yeah, Jenna. Yep. They used to be called pocket monsters back in the day. Noah, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that very much, man. I love Swirl. If you're here long enough, Aaron, you'll hear me comment on swirls all the time. I am a sucker for swirls, and it sounds like Mike is too. Top right corner looking good. Maybe a little bit. I don't know what this is, Mike. Maybe a little bit of some fuzz or something like that stuck on that top left corner. In addition, again, these little white little specks, just use a microfiber cloth, just kind of gently wipe that off. You don't need that stuck on there and have them ding you for points. on the surface grade. But I think it's probably because of your matte would be my guess. But aside from that, man, the back looks really clean. I'm not seeing any whitened corners. I'm not seeing, I think you have, yeah, just more of that, those little white specks. Just wipe that off with a microfiber cloth and you should be good. I'm not seeing any print lines on the back or scratches on the surface. It looks really good. Well cut nails. That's a good edge right there. Good centering on those nails. Let's see. But yeah, corners look good. Corners look good. I would just say just wipe that thumbprint off. That's why I think, you know. But I'd probably still say probably a 9 would be my guess. Great, and cracked that a 9. Yeah, I think the 9 only because of the centering would probably be my guess, because it is a little bit heavy on the right side. Because I can see it visually that it is, and that's kind of where my more conservative approach would kind of kick in. But I would definitely measure it with a tool in person, because obviously I'm just using a snipping tool on Windows to measure the centering. So just make sure that you're kind of doing that in person. And if it's within the 55-45, technically on paper it's a 10 contender. But just wipe off that fingerprint in the top right corner and you should be good. Toph, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. But is TCG Player an app or a website? It's both, actually. So I definitely recommend doing both, downloading it on your phone. Because most people, if you ever go to a show, what's going on here? We've been actually waiting for you, ALM. We've been waiting for... Say hi to ALM, guys. We've been waiting for him to return. But now that you're here, we are doing what's called grade review, which I'm about to go over now. So if you guys are prepared, I am about to go over how to submit your cards for a future grade review. So if you are watching me on Twitch or YouTube, the link is going to be in the description. If you're watching me on TikTok, the link is going to be in the bio. Once you click that, we are going to then go to the link tree. And once you're here, you're going to click or tap the Discord icon. Once you have joined the Discord, you're going to go to the grade review channel to submit your cards. Again, this is a completely free service and always will be. I stream every Wednesday starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, where we do grade review, where I review your cards for what I think your cards would get as a PSA grade, but it will also apply to any other grading service. So again, it is free, but it is first come, first serve. So the faster you submit your cards, the faster I will review them, because there is a queue each week. And just make sure to follow the rules on how to properly take a picture. For example, good lighting and high quality, not in a sleeve, stuff like that. So having said that, since it is first come, first serve, if you need your cards assessed as soon as possible, because sometimes queues can be a little bit, sometimes it can be a few weeks or even a month. So if you want priority grade review, along with some other really good perks, the Discord server does offer subscriptions starting at $2.99 a month. So if you want to support me and get some other cool benefits, as well as priority grade review like what Mike is taking advantage of now, the Discord subscriptions are available. They are there. They are not required, but they are definitely appreciated. So that's how you do it. So in short, click the link in the bio, go to the Discord, and submit your cards in the grade review channel. And if you want priority, since it is first come, first serve, the Discord server does offer subscriptions starting at $2.99 a month. So again, thank you, Mike, for those submissions. That Mew is very clean, and I'm very jealous of the swirl as always. And then, let's see. And again, you're going to submit your cards in the grade review channel, not in the episode 74 thread. The episode 74 thread is for those who need assistance for whatever reason, for everything being reviewed. So next up is Kuma. So let's take a look. And while I'm preparing for Kuma's submission, I appreciate you guys hanging around. Thank you guys so much for the likes, follows, shares, all that fun stuff. And if you guys are enjoying yourself, I always appreciate any of those that I mentioned. And let's get the Darkrai Umbreon, the Cynthia, and the Sabrina's Suggestion loaded up here. All right. Let me just catch up with chat before I begin. Think I'm 6-7 months and counting a subscription on Discord. Oh, I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. I do wonder if top loaders are heavily worth it. Oh, 100%. I would say it's an essential AMX. Top loaders are really good to protect any high value cards. You know, I always recommend a binder with penny sleeves. So a penny sleeve is just, you know, clear sleeves they can get a bunch of from a collecting point of view. There's also some other ones, but for the fundamentals, you want a binder that is not a 3-ring binder. You want a binder, you know what? This is a chime to, I will actually show you guys. You guys, if you guys are watching me on TikTok, you guys get to see my face. So what's up? So I would recommend a binder like so. Just have some stuff like this. I picked up some Yu-Gi-Oh cards at the show that I was at before. So binder like this. Definitely recommend top loaders or penny sleeves, or not penny sleeves. Well, I do recommend penny sleeves. Top loaders are semi-rigid, so this is a semi-rigid, as well as top loader, which I would recommend, and then a penny sleeve, which is just something like this, which I also saw Jason Page this weekend. Wow, the voice of a generation, chat. Look at that. Look at him. He wants to be the very best, and it only costs you 50 bucks. Luckily, I got this for free because I dressed up as Team Rocket, but that's besides the point. Blaine, what's going on, man? Sounds good, Nikolai. Yeah, dude, the voice of a generation. I'm surprised I didn't have to pay him $20 just breathing his own air. Hopefully things have been good, dude. It seems like it's been a minute. All right. Umbreon Darkrai. Let us take a look. Centering looking good. So that's good. Corners look great. Texture of Japanese is always superior to... So that's something that people can change my mind on. Japanese texture quality is exponentially better than English. I feel like you really can't change my mind on that. Corners look good. Edges look good. And it's really just the back that we always are kind of holding our breath on. So let's see. We do have... So it's a little bit darker on the bottom. But right up here. Last time I talked to you was before the crazy Japanese XY promo. Wow, dude, that's been a minute, dude. That's been a minute, man. Well, hopefully all's been good, man. Hopefully you've been doing all right. Yeah, dude, let's take a look. I'm getting every essential from Vault X mostly if I do start collecting. Yeah, AMX. I would say the Vault X binders are really good. I have a few of them. Ultimate Guard is another good brand that I use. Top loaders from Ultra Pro, and then penny sleeves. Those are probably the big three that you need to kind of protect everything. So the only thing I see on the back of this, my man, is what appears to be like maybe some folds or something here on the top. Like right up in this section, and I'll probably like right here, and yellow is probably the worst color to use. So it's going to be like right here. And if you have any questions, AMX, if you haven't joined the Discord already, definitely ask in there as well. Our community is really helpful and would be more than happy to help you out at all. So you're definitely not alone, my friend. So if you need help. Yeah, dude, I bet, Blade. I must be like you're kicking back with a pina colada in hand, watching your stonks go up. That's really sick. I actually just got, you guys want to see a crazy card? Here, hold on. You want to see what I just created this for a buddy. Look at it. Hey, Blaine, you ready for this bad boy? Look at that. Look at that bad boy, huh? Charizard, Gold Star, PSA 7. I can't wait for my friend to say, why are you flexing my card on stream? It's not even yours. Well, I can do whatever the hell I want. I got your card, buddy. Hey, yoink, mine now. Don't tell him, chat. It's mine now. Shh, don't snitch. Anyway. Yep, mine now, yoink. So I'd probably be worried about this top part, to be quite honest with you, Kuma. That probably would prevent you from getting the 10. That's a little bit of a too much of a fold for my liking. But if that's not a fold, like if that isn't anything on the top there you go, Chris. Our gold star, baby. It's ours now. I look like Rhyme Styles. That's a first. That's so funny. I used to watch that guy years ago during when I was super into Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day. Let's see. But yeah, aside from that, man, it looks really good. I'm just really hesitant to call it a 10 because of that top part. But it's a beautiful card in the front. I'll just check that. I don't know if you buy grade any One Piece, but the quality, even in their English cards, are insane. Dude, you say that, but the only time I collect One Piece, or actually anytime I get One Piece, is just from the magazine subscription. My buddies collect it a lot. And they've gotten some pretty good grades back. But ooh, Cynthia from Hidden Fates. This one is good if it comes back as a 10, like everything else. Let's see. So the top will always appear to be smaller because of this trainer support banner kind of going up into the top. So it's not off-center per se, but sometimes it can be. Yeah, AMX, definitely make sure to follow, man, so you can stick around and get notifications when I'm live. Like I said, I stream every Wednesday, so I would love to see you back. I appreciate you hanging around. Are you a grader just doing this on the side for fun, content, or is this just an opinion of a veteran? I would say all the above, plus I get a lot out of it as well. It kind of keeps me sharp, helps me, you know, pay attention to stuff even when I'm looking for cards myself. I also vend, so I have a lot of YouTube videos out there and shorts on TikTok of me vending, and so I kind of get to show you guys, you know, how I do business and how I treat the hobby. It's a little bit, you know, exhausting to always hear about prices and min-maxing everything, and I just like to have a good time, hang out with chat, look at some cool cards at the end of the day. So just buy blind near mint One Piece from TCG Player. Yeah, dude, I can imagine. If you're definitely looking for grading plays, that might be a good one because it's probably underlooked. How have you, Galaxia? Are you asking how have I been? Is that what you're asking, Chris? Front looks good. I don't care about prices. I like cute poke. Dude, Jenna, I hear you. I don't know if Betty is in here, but she is one of the moderators, and she would be agreeing with you 100%. She's probably taking a nap because she sleeps like a cat, but she would definitely be agreeing with you for sure. But I'm right there with you. Like all the like the trainer galleries and the Galarian galleries stuff. Like I'm a huge fan of like the Radiant collection stuff, like the little charms. Oh, so good. But yeah, centering on this bad boy looking good. Texturing always makes it difficult for these cards to look at the surface with 100% accuracy. But yeah, Chris, I've been doing good. I got I shared it on my Instagram, but I got a First Ed Shadowless Charizard back from PSA as a PSA 4. I can show that on stream here in a second. That went straight into the PC. So super stoked about that. Ooh, the crochet cards. That's a good one too, Blaine. People that collect like the artist cards and stuff like that, like the illustration cards. I'm not really into Pokemon. I have one that I really like. That's awesome, Jenna. That's awesome. Yeah, we have we like to nerd out about a bunch of stuff. So hopefully you stick around because we talk about more than just Pokemon. So hopefully you stick around. Yeah, I'll show it once I'm done with this, Chris. I'll show it here real quick. I'll show the digital scan. What was the most expensive card that you get the most as submissions for this? I would say in general, probably Gold Stars. We've gotten a lot of gold stars, and the First Edge Shadowless Charizard that I'm talking about was actually in this grade review way back in the day. Oh, the Crochet Altaria, dude, is so good. It's so derpy looking. AMX, thanks for following, by the way. Appreciate that. Yeah, I would say this card is really clean, man. No corner, like the whitening on the corners are none. Centering is great for the back. This one, I would say the only thing just to check is I don't know what that is on that top right. That might be just something you just have to wipe off. But in addition, I don't know if this might be the sleeve underneath it, but this little white spot. But just double check that. But aside from that, it looks really good. Yeah, it's so good. I would say the other card that I really like is oh man, it's like right in the tip of my tongue too. And I can't remember it. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Sabrina's Suggestion. That right side's a little bit thicker than the left, but I think we might be good. Let's do a quick little measure here. Let's see. So what are you, so since you said you're not really into Pokemon per se, Jenna, what are you into? I appreciate you hanging out in a Pokemon channel. Where's a bunch of nerds here at the end of the day? Talking about cool stuff. I just got back from a kind of like a Comic-Con, dressed up as Team Rocket, which was really fun. There was the voice actor for K-pop Demon Hunter, which I didn't even know that show existed. I'm like, you starting to become a boomer. She was there for her first appearance, which was really cool. Like, into anything? Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, the one of the voice actors had her first appearance. The one that I went to was Kineticon in Connecticut. It was so fun. I dressed up as Team Rocket and a bunch of other cool stuff. Oh yeah, dude, the Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy, one of my buddies is like super into it. He's like DMing me all the time on Discord. He's like, dude, I pulled a Chocobo, like take a look at the centering. And I was like, you gotta go on a grade review, brother. Get in line. You don't get any special treatment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that right side. And then let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, you're right on that. You're right on the fence. But yeah, that Kineticon was super fun. Picked up a lot of really good cards. Met some cool voice actors. There's one that does Duke Nukem's John St. John. Met him. Did a lot of other. There's a lot of voice actors for a lot of Pokemon, like the Piplup voice actor, the Dawn voice actor, Cynthia, Leafeon voice actor was there. My favorite pickup, I would say. Hopefully you guys like this, just kind of loosey-goosey, because I'm enjoying talking with you guys and kind of going off the cuff here. So, shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to the stream, man. I would say right here would probably be my favorite pickups. So we picked up PSA 10 Misty's Favor, which is really good. Team Rocket's Handiwork. I had to pick that up because I was cosplaying as Team Rocket during that. Entei, Leafeon, Garchomp, and the Rainbow Rare Lunala tag team. So those were my pickups. I basically just traded a bunch of like duplicates from my stock and kind of consolidated. That's what Blaine, you need to pipe down, dude. Don't let everyone hear you. You need to keep those lips shut. Don't get on to me, man. Thoughts on CGC? I would say the short answer, since I do this as a side business, your return on your investment isn't as strong with CGC when compared to PSA. So I normally stick with PSA. I'm a nerd in the animes that I have watched, but I haven't. Honestly, Jenna, I'm right there with you. I really don't watch a lot of newer animes. Like, I'm a huge like Toonami fan because I grew up with Toonami, so I was super into like Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Neon Genesis Evangelion, like a lot of that era, Inuyasha. But like there's just so many that I honestly just can't keep up. Honestly, Blaine, as kind of some hidden lore, my mascot and my branding was all based around Toonami. So all my branding, all my kind of aesthetic, I love that kind of cyberpunk Toonami vibe. So all that, I have some like signatures from Spike. I have some signatures from Ray from Evangelion. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm a big Toonami aesthetic. Yeah, I love Cowboy Bebop, dude. Evangelion's, yeah. Evangelion's really fun. Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo. Man, I'm just trying to like look around my room. You guys are distracting me in the good way. But yeah, Jenna, if you haven't seen Evangelion, that one's really kind of weird and twisted, but it's really good. and they're short. I'm kind of with you, Jenna, to be honest. It's kind of like I like the ones that are like one season, you know, maybe like 20 or 30 episodes long, like nice and short. Another one I like is Serial Experiments Lain. That one's really crazy, but that was so good. It's like 10 episodes, but it's really twisted and really good though. But anyway, Sabrina's suggestion. The back is actually really clean as well. This one I would say is really, really strong, to be quite honest with you. Zep card from Star Wars. Oh, that's sick, dude. Yeah, because he just voices so many. Because he's like the voice of so many characters. He's one that I need to sign. I have a vinyl. I had Jet, Faye, and Ed sign a vinyl record that I have for Cowboy Bebop. And I need him, weirdly, he's like the last one I need to have signed, and I haven't seen him in a while, which is kind of annoying. Anyone ever open a pack to a scratched card? Oh yeah, I'm sure people have, for sure. Especially like print lines. Like some print lines are crazy deep, dude. Roy Kenshin. I don't think is that a, honestly, I don't know a lot of anime. I'm kind of siding with Jenna on this one. I really don't know all too much. Yu Yu Hakusho was another one that I really liked watching. But Serial Experiments Lain, if you guys haven't seen that one's a good one. Oh, Ghost in the Shell. How could I forget Ghost in the Shell? Kenshin is good, but gets hate for a good reason. Sure, you are in good company if you're saying Bebop is king, brother. You are in good company. All right, Pikachu and Zekrom. From where am I? From my man. So we are in, I'm kind of getting lost here because I was talking about anime now. Crispy. So yeah, dude. Let me give me one sec here. A few less popular animes like Banana Fish were so good. My all-time fave. Banana Fish, huh? I'll have to say what that is. Dude, Witch is back too? Man, I'm getting like the OGs coming back, guys. Welcome home, man. Welcome back to the ship. English dub Ghost Stories is legend. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I could nerd about it. Like, I can nerd about that, or like all the old games I used to play, like Metal Gear, Fear, Armored Core. Big Armored Core guy. What else? Parasite Eve. Ooh, who remembers Parasite Eve? That's an old one. Shore boy, you don't have to out me out like that, all right? I hear you, Jets. The more the merrier. But Short Boy, you don't have to out me out like that, brother. Next, you're gonna like start saying my social security number, and then we're gonna have a problem. Pikachu Zekrom centering, looking good, looking fresh. Corners look good, a little bit dark, but normally for this, it's kind of just is centering and corners. I hear you, Chor. I hear you, dude. So this one is a good example of kind of that whitening I was talking about on this right side. So that might kind of be like a gambler's 10. I would say more towards a 9 than a 10 with that. Just that. You guys don't even see what I'm talking about. Let me do this. So it's right in this corner right here. So this bad boy right there would probably prevent you from getting that 10. Would be my honest opinion. Or if it's stuck on the back, but the centering corners are really good, but that little bit of whitening is probably going to break it for you, to be quite honest with you. Okay, so modern, like I was just talking about. For modern, it's centering and corners. But yeah, when I have a chance to watch some anime, another new anime that I really liked, that I was actually surprised that I liked it as much, was Dandadan. I kind of liked that goofy paranormal style approach. The first few episodes a little bit felt weird to watch, but was super good. Let's see. Do I need to pay before you grade? You do not. It's a completely free service. The only time that I mention people paying is when they get priority grade review, which is a subscription in the Discord. Yeah, I loved it. Dandadan was super fun. Reincarnated as a slime is pretty good. I'd have to look that up. Because like a lot of them are like too fan service for me, to be quite honest with you. Some of it's a little much. And that's why I was like, when the beginning of Dandadan, I always do the follow the, like, watch 3 episodes kind of approach for anime to really kind of solidify my opinion on it. So I'm always down to do, and Lazarus was another one I have to pick. I don't know why I stopped watching it. I think I was just busy. But Lazarus was another good one because it was made by the same writers and composer for Cowboy Bebop. How do I get mine graded? Well, if you go to the link in my bio, and if you go to the link tree, you will go and click the Discord icon on the top, and all you have to do from there is submit your cards in the grade review channel. It is completely free, like I mentioned before, but it is first come, first serve, so the faster you submit, the faster you'll have your cards get graded, because I do this every Wednesday at around 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So just make sure to submit. My favorite anime that was more fun to watch was Mob Psycho. It had 0 fan service. I'll have to give that a check. I'll have to take that a look. Another one I've been recommended is Steins Gate. I have to watch that too. Reincarnated is pretty lighthearted and funny, but has some amazing fight scenes. Oh, that's nice. That's sick. Dano, thank you for the follow. I love Initial D, but also work on car. Oh, dude, it's so funny, ALM. I haven't watched Initial D, but I have so many songs and tracks saved in my playlist from them that I feel like I know it at this point without even watching it, just from listening to the soundtrack so much. How I have my stream set up, Shore, it's hard for me to pin just from how my layout is for pinning inside of TikTok. But it's just remember that it's in my bio. But sorry, I can't pin it right now. It just makes it a little bit tough because I use Streamlabs and it's weird. Okay, Suicune. Centering is good. Corners are good. Texture is fantastic. This one technically should. It's a little bit thicker on that right side of the top, respectively, but it's definitely within the range. So if we look here, that's just lighting on that side. It's really just the corners I'm looking at. I don't see any whitening there. Top left, bottom right. So this one probably would be good as a PSA 10 contender. I don't know if that would work. Are you talking about pinning? I know people can, like, moderators can pin messages, but in terms of the link, I don't think it would actually, like give you a hyperlink to click on, like what Jenna's saying. But it's just in my bio. Let's see. Deoxys VMAX. That bottom looks a little bit thick. And sometimes with, like, especially for the full arts, you really kind of have to look at the left and the bottom at the same time. And it looks like we should be good there with the Deoxys VMAX. And same thing, centering looks really good, corners look good. Not too worried about that. Again, just wipe off these little, like, white specks on the bottom here and on this right edge. Again, you want to make sure that you give them no reason to dock you any points for surface, so just keep that in mind. And then the Charizard EX, this card's been kind of tanking a little bit. I think you can copy and paste other people's. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure you can. It's just because I use Streamlabs to multi-stream, so it's a little bit harder for me to do things like cross-platform outside of, like, the main window. That's the only reason why I haven't. So yeah, if you guys want to check me out too, I am multi-streaming on Twitch and YouTube. If you want a little bit of a different viewing experience, check out my Pokemon wall. Let's see. Trisha, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that very much, my friend. Centering on this is really good. Top, bottom, left, right. Really good. And let's see if you guys are paying attention. Why do you think I don't think this card would get a PSA 10? Does anyone want to guess? So give me a reason to drink water and talk with chat. But why do you think this card might not get a 10? There's at least 2 or 3 possible issues that I see with it. Julian, thank you for the follow. My friend has a $30 card ungraded, but it was in such bad condition, like number 1, like a PSA 1. Sometimes, Jenna, honestly, people love those anti-10s. Oh yeah, you guys got it instantly. So we have what appears, because the other cards were really good, the ones that you submitted. So I'm assuming that these are going to be whitening. So we have some pretty noticeable whitening here, which might be on the sleeve, but might also be on the corner. We also have maybe one here, but then we also have one for sure here. And so that one is a little bit more predominant. Sometimes if that was a little bit milder, you might be in that kind of what I like to call a gambler's 10, where sometimes I've seen him come back as 10s, sometimes I've seen him come back as 9s. But I think with the one possible in the top left, one possible in the top right, leaning more towards yes and no, but one definite in the bottom right, I think just because of the whitening alone, I don't think this card would 10, even though the front looks good. So do I send pictures in the grade review in the Discord? You got it, Ridge. That's exactly what you do. And then again, it's just first come, first serve. If you want to take advantage of the free variant. But if you want priority for whatever reason, there are some people who try to sell these cards as fast as they can, or they need to submit their cards as fast as possible, and they want a second opinion as fast as possible. The Discord server does offer a subscription starting at $4.99 or $2.99 now a month. That gives you priority. All right, so before I even look at the belly bolt, can we peep? What is this? How come I see 10s with whitening? That's exactly what I was kind of talking about. Murnio, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Where I kind of call it like a gambler's 10, because I agree with you. Sometimes I've seen cards that have that whitening that probably shouldn't have gotten the 10, but they just somehow did. But I've seen some with the exact amount of whitening that get 9s. So, shout out to the Domino's Marinara and what appears to be Squidward's Grippers here on the top. First time I've seen Squidward, what appears to be either playing the bongos or eating a giant tub of honey. I'm not too sure. Marinara looks on point. That seal is good. Edges look good on the Marinara. A little bit of a dent here, though, on the side. A little bit of a dent on the Marinara. Probably, you know, we're probably looking at a PSA 4, PSA 5 on the Marinara. But normally I see these open. So sometimes when you see these open, it definitely impacts the grade. But since this is still sealed, it's actually really good. Especially with the Squidward buff, I think you're probably getting a +1 or +2. So probably the Marinara would probably get a 7. If Squidward was not here, probably get a 5. All right, so next up we have the Belly Bolt. And for those of you who are just joining me, you guys are probably super confused as to why I'm grade reviewing a marinara dipping sauce from Domino's. I don't normally do that, but since it was there, we grade it. We see it, we grade it. I like it when you grade random things, but well, maybe, you know, maybe if I see random things in your guys' posts, I just assume that you want me to grade them, so I'm just gonna. Oh, Daddy Banks, we know we found the CGC grader grading the marinara as a PSA 2, huh? Well, Daddy Banks, you better learn. I ain't no PSA 2, brother. Let's see. Belly Bolt, however, centering looks good. There's a lot of like weird debris though. Like all these little like white specks. I don't think that's part of the artwork. If it is, then because I can't remember to be quite honest with you if that is or not. But my guess says that that's probably stuff that's stuck on there and just wipe it off with a microfiber. You should be good. Got a little bit of maybe a hair, maybe the art. I'm not too sure on the bottom there. And I don't think this would 10. We have even though it's a little bit blurry on the top, we have a little bit of whitening on that top right corner, and you guys can kind of see it right there. In addition to the sides, the bottom. So this wouldn't 10, and this card is so inexpensive, I probably wouldn't even submit it, to be quite honest with you. But the Litten, however, centering is good. Japanese tends to have better quality control, so let's hope that's the case. Front looks good. The back. Oh yeah, Jenna. I love this Litten card. Has the shiny variant on the bottom. Chilling on the books. I love it. Let's see. So the only thing that I see, that top right corner, a little bit of whitening there, a little bit of something there on that left edge. So again, this one probably would even get like an 8 because of that and the top possibly. But this was a little bit washed out. I can't really tell. So again, this is like a good reminder. Like I don't mind grading these, but if you really want your cards assessed with as much accuracy as possible, I put guides in the grade review channel. So if you looked at the pinned messages, you can see examples on how to take really good pictures of your cards. So something like this is kind of difficult because it's anywhere from like a 9 to an 8, but I can't really tell because that's top right's so washed out. So the better pictures you guys give, the better we can kind of do a good assessment. And I don't know if you guys are doing the same thing, which is this, looking at this card. But it looks like there might be a thumbprint here in the cloud. I'm not too sure. It kind of looks like it, to be honest. But we also have something here on that edge. Trying to remember the cue card I have. I'll go find it in a second. Awesome. Make sure to report back, Jenna. I'm always down to see some cue cards. The back, I think, looks okay. Again, this bottom is so washed out. The lighting is very washed. But I think just because of this on this left edge, it's a little concerning. I don't know what that is. But again, it's not that expensive of a card, so I probably wouldn't grade it regardless. I don't think it would 10 because of that, if that is there. So let's see. This one's a little bit thicker on that right side and the top compared to the left and bottom. This is not the Pokemon Center exclusive, hence no stamp. So it's really just a centering on the front. But the back has some scratches. I can kind of tell. That might be a scratch. That might be a hair. I'm not really too sure. With a lot of kind of whitening and specks on the back. But aside from that, I think it probably wouldn't get a 10 because of these little white specks, some scratches, and some whitening on that right side. So I don't think any of the cards that you've submitted, in my opinion, would get the 10 because of those little bits of whitening, to be quite honest with you. But you know, they're not incredibly expensive either. But this Erica's, let's take a look. I always love this card. This card's so good. Very underrated in my opinion. This one and the Leafeon V-Star from Crown Zenith, I think, are very underrated. Edges look good. Centering looks fine. I think we're within that range. And then the back, no whitening on that corner. The top right, top left looks good. Left edge looks good. Centering. This might be a pretty good 10 contender, to be quite honest with you. This one might be very good. If it were mine, I would submit it. I think it's pretty clean. Doesn't look like anything's wrong, and especially in the back, I don't really see much. Okay, so we have another one from Vision. Oh, here we go. The better angle of the Marinara. Now we're really cooking. Soup, thank you for the follow. What would you say about a PSA 10 that is the only in the world because no one else grading it? The response that I'd probably have would be if no one's grading it, there's probably a reason. The cute one I have is the Ionos, Kilowattrel. Ooh, yeah, that one is good. The one from Journey Together, that one is really good. That one's super good. MF Villain, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that very much. But yeah, where the big bird, right? I think that's the bird. Or is it? Yeah, because the other one's Belly Bolt. But yeah, I would probably say, you know, if there's not a lot, there's probably a reason, especially for an IR. But, you know, if you think it could 10, then by all means, why not, right? Can you see if my Lugia is a 10? Yeah, you just submit a picture. You go click the link in my bio. Go to the link tree. Click on the Discord icon on the top. And submit your card in the grade review channel. I do stream this once a week, every Wednesday. So tonight's queue is closed. But the faster you can submit, the faster you'd be kind of coming up. Because it is first come, first serve. But if you want your grades faster, like for example, you know, some people have to wait like a month, 3 months, or 3 weeks to 4 weeks because of the queue. Kind of keep that in mind. I have a Mega EX Full Art Charizard from XY. It's about a $700 card. I was wondering if you could think I should sell. It's a PSA 10. So my answer to that question, anytime I get it, is if you need the money. If you do not need the money, then I would hold. If you need the money, I would sell. Because that should be the basis of any kind of buy-sell decision you make, is really what it boils down to. Because chances are it will appreciate over time. You know, you might need to wait 5, 10, 15 years, you know, but if you're looking for like a quick return, for example, that's different than if you want your card to slowly appreciate over time, you know, because especially if it's a Mega Full Art Zard as a PSA 10, it will appreciate over time. But if you don't need the money, then I would just hold on to it if it were me. Okay. Mewtwo GX. Some shiny from the Shiny Bolt. Let's see. Centering looks good. And this one, I mean, I can't really tell. It's pretty blurry on the bottom. I mean, it looks like a 10, but I can't really confirm. However, the Marinara coming back. A little bit of a dent there, though. Now, so we see the other angle of the Marinara is really this right here. We're kind of looking at like a 4 now. As much as the bongo playing Squidward gives a +2 PSA buff to this, now that we see the full art Squidward here, this dent is really going to be impactful. So probably a PSA 4 on the Marinara would be my guess. I posted a pic. Would it get graded tonight? No, queue is closed for tonight. And you can check where the queue status is based off of the thread that I post. So if you click that episode 74 thread, there's a section towards the bottom where I left off at, and that's where I start for the non-subs. But again, if you want priority, the Discord server does offer a subscription starting at $2.99 a month, which gives you priority along with some other perks, because I do giveaways every month on the Discord, and so subscribers get more entries to those giveaways. Does the shiny Spider-Man mask add to the PSA qualifier? I'd probably say yes. But the fact that we only see... So we see the Cocomelon, which actually kind of offsets because this is giving kind of like a debuff in a way. Because you have to factor in the iPad rage when Cocomelon gets turned off. So once the Cocomelon turns off and the iPad actually has to charge... you actually have to get a debuff with Rage, which kind of neutralizes the Spider-Man shiny buff. So if the Cocomelon wasn't here, then your Spider-Man buff would be bumping this up by at least 2. Yep. Yeah, so you've heard it here first. Cocomelon will give you a debuff and give you a decrease in your PSA grade if you're grading the marinara sauce from Domino's. Just keep that in mind. And for those of you who are coming into chat for the first time, I don't normally grade Domino's dipping sauces, but here we are. We also have a full art Squidward here sneaking. So if you want random things graded in the background, make sure to include that in your submission, as well as having your submission be clear so I can actually review it. So let's move on to the Manectric EX Japanese. Looks great. For reference, I love these EXs. I'm actually trying to collect a lot of these for my personal collection. Once I am done with this card and the Gengar Mimikyu coming up, Alan, I'd be more than happy to show you. This card, let's see. Horrible centering. Let's take a look. At least from a quick measurement perspective. I know it's kind of at a slight angle, and I can kind of see where you're talking about where the right side maybe be a little bit thicker than the left, but let's take a look. Again, if you guys are enjoying yourself, I really do appreciate all the likes and shares and follows. If you guys are enjoying yourself, I definitely appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. We're having a goof, we're having a laugh, we're having fun. 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 4.5 tick marks on that one side. And then not 2 lines like that. We're going to go over here. And we're going to go right there. Boom. Go across. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So roughly 4 tick marks on the left, 4.5 on the right. So we add them bad boys together. So 4 plus 4.5, 8.5. And we're going to do 4.5 divided by 8.5. So 53. So 53-47 ratio. So technically we're in that range. And the front looks fantastic. No scratches from what I can tell at first glance. But again, we don't really have any angles, so I can't really tell if there's any print lines or anything like that. But the back weirdly looks thin on that edge, but must just be how the picture was taken. And right now I'm kind of looking at the corners here, so let me take a screenshot so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. So top right looks good. Maybe a little bit of a fold here on the top, but that's really pushing it. I really can't tell if that's the shadow of the sleeve in the background or not. Top left corner looks good. Left edge looks good. Bottom left corner looks good. Bottom edge looks good. Bottom right corner looks good. Right edge looks good. Yeah, all in all, this card looks pretty good, to be quite honest with you. I mean, just based off of the two pictures that I'm seeing right now, I'm not seeing any print lines or scratches on the holo. Obviously, I'll just double check just to make sure that that is still the case. But based off what I'm seeing on the front and the back, it has good PSA 10 contention. Unless there's something wrong with it that I can't tell or whatever. But looks good to me. And finally, we have the Gengar Mimikyu GX. So let's take a look at this bad boy. And again, once I'm done with this Gengar Mimikyu GX, I'll make sure to go over how to submit your cards for a future grade review. Again, it's absolutely for free. This is a free service and will always be a free service. So this one is huge. So I'll have to be pretty careful with this bad boy. Okay, so top, bottom, left, right looks really good for centering. I personally like this variant more than the other one, to be quite honest with you. So top, bottom, left, right looks great. Surface, because it's this one as well. So we can kind of see something in the texturing here. Again, these little white specks here in the kind of the Gengar's ear, I guess. Right here and right here, I would imagine those are just bits of fuzz kind of stuck into the valleys of this texture. So just wipe that off with a microfiber. You don't need them dinging you for anything. The back is a little bit thicker on that right side than the left, but again, that's definitely within that 75-25 ratio. So that should be good. And again, I'm just trying to do my due diligence here on the back side. So centering, we just talked about that. Now I'm going to be taking a look at the corners. No whitening here, which is great. Top edge, maybe a little bit of something stuck on there, but that's really nitpicky, and I don't even think that's probably just stuck on there very loosely. Sometimes you can use, as a side tip, you can kind of use painter's tape. Roll it on itself to kind of make like a ring of sticky on the outside of the painter's tape. And just very gently run your finger across it like it's like a wheel. And sometimes it can kind of pick some of that loose cardstock off the edge. Because painter's tape is really good for that. That top left corner looks good. This left edge looks good. Again, a little bit of a fuzz there. You want to make sure to wipe that off. And as we kind of get to the bottom, it starts to get a little bit fuzzy. Maybe here. But that's a stretch. Bottom edge still looks good. This is the only thing that I see so far. That might be, I'll kind of do like a very small arrow. So that might be an impact of some form, because the only reason why I think that is because you kind of see a shadow and then a light, which tells me that that's forming a shadow, which can only be from an impact. But it also might be the cardstock. You can kind of see something similar here as well. So it might be the cardstock, it might be a dent, I'm not really too sure. But that would really be the only thing I could see. And you kind of see it a little bit zoomed out more. You can kind of see, I don't know if you guys can see that on stream or not, but... so I would say, truthfully, and then just take a quick look at the other angle of this backside, just to see if there's anything else that we can see. On the bottom P. Let's see. On the bottom P, what are you seeing, my friend? Oh, I think I see what you're saying. You might be thinking of this, I would imagine. Like right here is probably what you're seeing. That's really good eyes, by the way. So that might be, is that what you're talking about, Justin? Very good eyes, for sure. That might be something stuck on there, or that might be that ink of that kind of black stroke edge being removed. But that's definitely something to consider. So I would say the front looks good. Centering looks good. The borders look really good. I would make sure to, if you can, to remove these little two white specks. They're sticking out like a sore thumb. right here and right here. You really want to make sure that you don't give them, again, any reason to dock you on surface scores. So those two would probably be the big ones. And then on the back, this is really kind of what I'm seeing, is possibly some whitening on the top there. Something that can probably be removed on that near that bottom left edge. Yes, VTN. That's what I use. It's just a microfiber cloth. So the two things that I'm really concerned about the most, to be quite honest with you, would be, and Justin had a really good eyes on this one. So this little bit of something here at the top of the P upside down, like right there. If you could wipe that off, great. If not, then, you know, you do have that kind of going against you. In addition, you also have what appears to be an impact here. I don't know if that's part of the cardstock, because I kind of highlighted an example of what I think is the cardstock here. You guys see a little bit of that right there where the tip of my mouse is. And I don't know if that's the same here, but to me, that kind of looks like an impact to a degree. So I would say I might have to kind of assign a few scores here. Oh, we're still back at it, value. Justin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. The back Pokemon lines. Okay. So I would say if you can get rid of this part of the P, and if you can get kind of dust off all this stuff, and this is part of the cardstock here, like part of the dimpling of the cardstock, you have a good chance at a 10. However, if any of that is true, meaning that if this is actually ink removed, or this actually is a dent, or, you know, you can't get rid of this whitening on the top, or any of this, what I kind of highlighted, you know, especially with the impact, you're kind of looking at, you know, a 7 or an 8, to be quite honest with you. Because the rest of the card looks really good, but it's just those two, really, this section is really what I'm most concerned about. Oh, you're good, Jenna. I always appreciate the lurkers. There's no, you know, I don't expect everyone to chat the entire time, so, but I appreciate it. But yeah, it's really just those two. If this is a dent, I'd probably put it more towards, like, you know, more towards an 8. It's so small, but they might put you even in a 7. So I went and binged this stuff. Yeah, I hear you, value. And honestly, that's why I kind of like doing the content that I like doing, to be quite honest with you. I'm just here to try to educate as much as I can and try to help you guys out as much as I can. That's why I never, like, I sell cards, like, as a vendor, but I never try to encourage you to buy stuff. I never try to shove products down your throat. I think there's enough of that to go around, and I'm in the mindset of, you know, trust through transparency, right? I try to show what I do for my business as truthfully and as openly as I can. If you jive with it, cool. If you want to look at my other stuff, cool. If not, that's totally okay. Like, at the end of the day, I just like to show off my collection, and if someone wants to buy parts of it, that's kind of how I see vending at the end of the day. Then yeah, exactly, Len. My sister is into Pokemon, so I have a lot of mind for her I want to get into. Hold on, I don't know why I read that weird. My sister is into Pokemon, so I have a lot of mind. Is it for her? Or oh, you got some from her because you want to get into it. Gotcha. Okay. Well, you're in the right place, Jenna. Well, at least I hope you are. You know, the community that I've tried to cultivate, especially in the Discord, we love talking about collections. We love talking about cards we picked up, stuff like that. That's why, like, another reason why I don't allow, like, buy, sell, trade posts in the Discord. I think there's enough of them that are around. You know, the Discord is just meant to just show off cool cards and hang out and have a good time at the end of the day. And that's kind of how I frame my business, and that's why I like to do these education stuff and make fun content. And a lot of my clips and stuff aren't even really me making sales at shows. It's just like a lot of the cool people I meet along the way. Like, I had a state trooper open up a pack of 151 at my booth. I had a person give me like a tiny scroll that she made at a convention, like a bunch of really fun stuff. So yeah, I would say if this stuff isn't here, you're probably looking at, you know, probably a 9 to a 10 depending on the whitening up here and the whitening on the front. But for that dent, you know, they might ding you for a 7 if that is one. But trying to join the Discord, but I don't know why I read it like that. Tried to join the Discord, but it took me to a Hyperion Discord. That shouldn't. Because if you go to my link tree, which is in my bio, if you click this, that should go right to my Discord. Unless it sent you to, like, one that you may have had open already, but... Ridge, thank you for the follow. But yeah, so while I'm in this link tree, so I'll go over this one more time if you guys are curious how to submit your cards if you haven't learned already. So all you have to do is in my bio, just click the link tree link. Once you're here, you're just going to click or tap the Discord icon and submit your cards in the grade review channel. It is a free service that I do these streams every Wednesday starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it is free and always will be. However, it is first come, first serve, so the faster you submit, the faster I will review. So make sure to review the pin messages on how to properly submit your cards, so the better pictures you take, the better I can give my assessment. However, with the first come, first serve, there is sometimes a little bit of a queue. Sometimes people have to wait a little bit, like a few weeks, or sometimes if it's really busy, about a month. So if you want priority grade review along with some other good benefits, you can subscribe to the Discord starting at $2.99 a month, which gives you priority grade review along with some other really cool perks. So yeah. Yes, you can do that as well. You can just search up you can also go to my website, Galaxy Gaming, TCG. Like how you're crazy about selling and trading because I feel like, yeah, I hear you, Jenna. Because at the end of the day, I have a full-time job. I just do this as a passion project and a side business. I do this with fun and cultivating community. I've met a lot of really cool people. Like that's why, you know, Blaine, you know, people that I've had join me when I was doing like episode 8 of Grade Review. I've been doing this for over a year, helping people grade their cards, and I try to recognize as many people. That's why we nerded out about anime for a while. You know what I mean? I just love talking with you guys. I love talking with chat. I really like that sense of community. It's really important to me. And my biggest thing is establishing, trust through transparency. So yeah. Had a little bit of a spike there. But let's see. All right, guys. Well, I think that is going to do it for me tonight. So I hope you had a great time here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me as always. If you haven't, make sure to join the Discord to keep in tabs. Make sure to follow. All that fun stuff. Would I be interested in Team Rocket Crobat? If you're talking for sale, I do have sell your Pokemon cards. But normally for Modern, I tend to hold off for 6 months because the market is so volatile right now. For example, Prismatic has tanked significantly since its release. So from a business perspective, I tend to hold off for until 6 months. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. You guys have been awesome. The support I've been seeing is fantastic and really appreciate it. I can't do this and don't do this without you guys. So really does mean a lot. So appreciate you guys. I'll probably be streaming again on Wednesday, but I might be streaming either this weekend or Monday because I have a lot of new cards that I have to process. I have a show coming up August 10th that I have to process. So you might see me do that, which is pretty rare. So that's always fun to do. Again, I appreciate the likes, shares, follows, all that fun stuff, and I will catch you guys on Wednesday or earlier. So make sure to join the Discord for an update on when I go live if it's different. Peace.